Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in our one duplicant challenge. Nathan right here is down in the cellar finishing the build we started in the previous episode. We now officially have access to oil, and by digging out the entirety of the oil biome we also noticed that we already have some good initial oil that we can make use of. The first thing I would like to set up is a liquid pump. We're gonna make this out of gold amalgam for the plus 50 overheat temperature, and we're gonna put it right in here. This is at the moment 82 degrees, so that should work out. We're then gonna use some normal piping to get things out of there, and my main goal is to just primarily bring it over here to the right side, but at the same time I also would like to get my initial plastic, because plastic is just so important with a one duplicant challenge so we can set up the transit tubes. So for one part we're gonna go all the way over here and we're just gonna dump everything over to the right side. I will then make use of this biome's chill right here in order to make my first plastic setup. It's gonna be very simplistic and just serve the purpose. I already dragged a power cable all the way down, so all we have to do is build this pump. And then I would like to make my way through here, set up a platform maybe there. And looking at refinement, we already have the oil refinery. That's what we're going to be needing in order to convert oil to petroleum. And I guess we're going to be doing that approximately here. And next we need a polymer press in order to produce plastics out of petroleum. I'm going to have this a little bit further away at a different spot. So maybe right there, and we can connect everything with ladders. Let's assume we are coming from over here. Let's actually complete this, and then we also want access to there. And of course we want to set them up. Let's actually do them on metal tiles. Why the heck not? So they benefit from the chill of the biome even more. And yes, of course, the oil refinery is still gonna be manual, but I think it's a little bit too early for our first petroleum boiler. We are still taking baby steps, but of course making plastics in the future manually is gonna be a no-go for this series. We want to do everything automatically. And we're already making our way into the biome. As a matter of fact, I would like to prioritize the pipes. Thank you. Let me go ahead and reroute the pipes here slightly. We're gonna go with a liquid shutoff right there. And then coming back down, that means I can get rid of the center pipe here, and I'll probably have to power this up. Actually, we don't really need a shutoff. I'm gonna do this differently. If we just go ahead and get the pipe all the way up, and then we go ahead and cut this for the time being. So we use all the oil going straight up, and we should have an immense amount of oil before we get any other liquid, since oil is the densest here. But yeah, eventually new liquids are gonna be introduced, such as the polluted water here, but I guess we're gonna first take care of the oil. So basically those pipes are gonna go in here, and all we want is to go ahead and join the oil refinery. This is then gonna produce some petroleum, and I'm gonna use insulated pipes for this. We shouldn't waste the chill of the biome to cool down the petroleum as well. However, what we're gonna need is a liquid reservoir. Let's build that out of gold amalgam, just in case this is heating up a little bit. Petroleum going in, we can accumulate some of it, and then it's gonna be used in order to produce some plastics for us. I'm gonna build the liquid reservoir on some insulated tiles just in case that helps not cooling down the inside as much. And there, another break before we can finish the project. Yeah, I'm seriously looking forward to our transit tube access points. Initially, I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and make a cavity here at the bottom so all the melted ice can accumulate somewhere at the bottom. It's also gonna swap over here, as you can see, but it is also lighter than oil, so we shouldn't worry. Now, of course, before I forget, all of these machines also require each their power. The polymer press is already in place. It will have a gas output, and I think, yeah, we probably should bring this down because it's gonna accumulate otherwise, and I'm gonna release it somewhere here. Though, what is the pressure currently here? Ah, it is close, so we might not get away with a normal gas vent. However, for the high pressure gas vent we need some initial plastic, so I'm gonna exchange that as soon as the system has been working for a little bit. Alrighty, looks like we are actually done. Let's set things in motion by connecting these wires. And well, apparently we haven't built those two wires yet, but I'm sure I'm gonna head down any second to do so. And there's my pump going for it. We just need to keep this observed, but I only need the initial plastics to do what I need to do. And then soon enough I'm gonna switch to a better system. Now, I know in the beginning, until we set ourselves up, there has to be done a little bit more manual labor by Nathan, but the end goal of this series is to basically automate everything that can be automated in some way or the other. So we'll have to come up with very special designs that I would probably not usually go for. Whoops, I made a slight mistake. Obviously, this should go into the input and this the output. My bad. But as soon as we have that fixed, Nathan should be... Wait, what's happening? Hold the phone. Come back. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We are getting our petroleum, and as a result, we're also getting the plastics. And if we have a look at the temperatures, this shouldn't be an issue for a really long time, I hope. Come on, come on. Yes, there it is. Plastic. So that means we can now deconstruct the gas vent and actually build a proper one, a high pressure gas vent. Wow, this has been an incredibly important step, let me tell you. Now, what do we need? Stations? Yeah, actually we need to do some research. Everything transit tubes is what we need to go for, and in order to research that, we need access to the materials study terminal. We didn't research that one yet, and we will need access to some radbolts in order to make this work. Now, if we have a look around, the easiest way to accomplish this is probably using a Weeswort, and we only really need this initial radiation to get things going. I don't even mind if it takes a little bit longer. So I think what I'm gonna do is dig my way up here, and we're gonna make something temporary for the terminal, using the 2 Weesworts on the top there. I'm only at research level 5 at the moment, but right now we cannot take any additional skill points. We first have to improve our morale, and before that I really need those transit tubes, otherwise we're just never gonna get anywhere. Wonderful, research already completed. Let's have a look at that. We get access to the material study terminal. This has an input slot for radbolts. If we set up the machine right there, for instance, we can have access, and then we'll need some sort of a radbolt generator, which we also don't have access to just yet. Let's see what kind of research that requires. Ah, it's the next research in line, and it's the simple research, so we're gonna go for it. Yeah, there we go. There was another science point. That is gonna make everything slightly faster again. Research completed. Wonderful. We now got access to the radbolt reflector as well as the generator. Generator, of course, being used to generate the radbolts using power. And then with the reflector, we can shoot it somewhere else. So let's say, for instance, we want to generate some radbolts right there. Actually, it would be more convenient if I could do this. So I'm gonna move the ladder and everything 1 block over. That means my terminal goes right here. We take the cable and go up there. Ladder shaft to access everything, and then, let's see, we need to keep this one free in order to build the reflector. So we'll have a radbolt reflector, then finally shooting those 2 radbolts down. Now currently we have 60 tons of coal. Yeah, we'll have to be slightly careful how we do this. I don't want to risk losing all my coal immediately. One more thing I might want to add is a possibility for me to actually shut things down. So I'm gonna send a signal to both radbolt generators. I'm gonna start with them switched off, and let's make sure we also point this in the right direction. Radbolt reflector needs to go down, and that's good. Very nice, we have everything necessary in place. I already enabled the radbolt generators, and they are generating not that much, mind you, but it's gonna be enough to do that initial research. Now I'm just waiting for the rest of the petroleum to be used up, because that goes a little bit over the 2 coal generators' capabilities together with both radbolt generators. And of course we are also lacking a skill. Right now we are quite even with the morale need and cap we currently have. However, I think we can easily go for applied science research, which is what we need to use that machine, because, let me show you. In our bio here, we got from the vacillator a sunny disposition trait, which gives us minus 20% stress a cycle. So let's hope my theory here holds true. While we are waiting for the radbolts to accumulate, I'm already gonna prepare a little something for the next episode. Basically making my way all the way over and draining some of these nasty polluted biomes. With the polymer press out of the picture, we're now using just below 1 kilowatt, which can be easily covered here with these 2 coal generators. All I need to make sure is that the storage bin doesn't get emptied. Did we actually select the research? Because that's something we can already work towards. Transit tube. Yeah, there we go. We can already work on the other types of research as we are filling this up. And we are just about to witness our first radbolt release. Where did the second one go? Oh, the second one did not shoot yet. Come on, come on, come on. Give me something good. It seems to be producing a little less. There is the shot. And now we have 98 radbolts in the joint that we can use for some research. Maybe I should prioritize the material study because I don't want it to become full, as it can only store 100 radbolts. And here you can see how quickly it goes down, and we already got 2 points now. Yeah, I think we can do this with maybe 1 or 2 more shots and then we should be good. We're already at 8 of 20 points. Yeah, we didn't quite get 10 points, so we'll have to shoot 2 more times, and once that's done, we can finish the research and finally build transit tubes. Research finally completed. Transit tube access. Yes, I already shut down the contraption at the bottom, so the signal switch is turned off. And now we can build some transit tubes. This is gonna make it so much easier. Now I think I'm gonna opt for lead. We're gonna have one here at the bottom. Let's make sure it is properly tiled up, and then we need to provide it with energy. As mentioned, we can do this with a single conductive wire. For the time being, I think I'm gonna tap into the lines we already have established here. But essentially we wanna go out and then all the way up here. Right here is where we're gonna have our next access point. And we should be able to hook that up to another power system for now. That also means I need to replace my deodorizers every now and then another access point right here. Wonderful, I'm really looking forward to this. We are writing another piece of history here. The first transit tube access point has been placed. We are back to producing petroleum and plastics in order to build transit tubes all the way from the bottom to the top of the world. You know, as improvised as it sounds, right now I'm going to power this with a single coal generator, and that is just gonna spare me a little bit of headache in the beginning until we can automate everything. But we're gonna have an auto sweeper just taking care of that. Actually, how much is this gonna take? No, it doesn't even matter. We're just gonna use heavy watt wire and connect everything. You go here. And then finally a little bit of automation wire. I think I need to go for a little bit of emergency coal. We can get some here. There is my battery. Thank you very much. We're gonna do 95 and 60 as usual with these coal setups. And here we are charging up the first transit tube. Very nice. I'm sure Steve would be proud of us right now. Okay, it's a couple of cycles later and I'm making more or less good progress, I would say. Basically, I'm using a cycle or so in order to pre-produce a whole bunch of petroleum that is then going to be used up over the next few cycles, and afterwards I can just use the plastic. So essentially the oil refinery is the one component we'll have to remove out of the mix in order to reduce the duplicant labor. But not for this first transit tube, I just want to go ahead and get this built. Alright guys, a whole bunch of cycles later, but I finally did it. We have our transit tube all the way from the bottom to the top. I think I'm now just doing the last little piece and then I want to ride it before wrapping up the episode. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy now. This is gonna make things so much more bearable for me. Let's do a little test ride and see how Nathan fares. There we go. Whoop! And we are gone. Look at that. It is even faster than going down with the fire pole. Wow, absolutely unbelievable. And now of course we can make stops wherever we want to, and we can be much more efficient as of the next episode. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time, and hopefully I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye bye.